store for some damaging flooding. But further north where I am in New York City, I know city beaches have been closed for Wednesday and I think Thursday too. So what will be the effect, say, north of the Carolinas? And how much flooding could we perhaps expect to see in the New York City area?
Yeah, I think in the New York City area, there's really not going to be a whole lot of flooding. There might be a little bit of tidal rise, but the main thing up in the New York City area and the Long Island beaches is going to be that dangerous rip current risk. And that's going to go throughout the rest of the week and maybe even into Saturday as well, potentially. So even after the storm is long gone, some of those waves will still be angry out there. And that surf is still going to be very dangerous. So if those lifeguards are telling you not to go in the water, if those red flags are up, please, please, please heed those warnings and stay out of the water. We don't want your life to be put at risk, and we don't want the lifeguards' lives to be put at risk if they have to go out and rescue you if you didn't listen to them. So please, please, please stay out of the water. This is going to be a very dangerous week for East Coast beaches. Again, this is the entirety of the East Coast, Florida to Maine to Eastern Canada. Everybody needs to be very, very mindful of these dangerous rip currents. And a lot of times you can't see them, and you step in the water, even if you go up just to your knees, even if you kind of lose your footing, you can still be swept away. So please don't even enter the water at all along these East Coast beaches. It's going to be very, very dangerous out there this week.
A dangerous week for East Coast beaches. That is a sober warning. When will we be in the clear up and down the East Coast all the way to Eastern Canada? Is Sunday the safe day, or will this continue into next week?
Yeah, in terms of beaches, rip current risk, I think by Sunday, a lot of the rip current risk does come down. Of course, we still need to watch it just in case. But over the next couple of days, we do need to watch as the storm moves up. The big waves over the next 2 days, so Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even into Friday as well. But we also need to watch the wind. So along the coast, Carolinas, the winds are really going to pick up during the day today and into tomorrow. So we need to watch for the heaviest winds along the outer banks of North Carolina, even extending up into portions of the southern Delmarva. So that's southern portions of Maryland here, maybe even into southern Delaware as well. 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts with an AccuWeather local storm max of 80 towards the outer banks. I think if anybody's going to have a shot at around 70 or 80 miles per hour winds, it's going to be in the far outer banks. But then we even have to watch southeastern Massachusetts. Cape Cod and the islands have to be watched as well. Even though the storm is going to be moving well away from the coast here, that wind field is so expansive that we could even see 40 to 60 mile per hour winds in Cape Cod and the islands. And then even in some of the major cities, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Hartford, Providence, yeah, those winds are probably going to be less than 40 miles per hour, but we're still going to be seeing winds, maybe gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour. New York City, Hartford, so even areas well away from the coast can still at least experience some breezy conditions during the day on Thursday.
All right, so high winds, dangerous waves up and down the East Coast for Hurricane Erin. We're in the thick of hurricane season, and possibly not even in the thick of it because it's still August. I know September can really be a doozy. But Alex, what else do you see brewing in the Atlantic? Are there other storms that are on the way?
Yeah, there's at least 2 other areas that we're watching across the Atlantic. Both have about a high risk chance of development here over the next couple of days. This first tropical wave is actually going to follow a very similar track to Erin, probably getting near the islands later this week, but then taking a turn to the north. Now, we do expect this to stay off the East Coast as we're going to have a dip in the jet stream that should kick it out to sea, but we're still going to have to watch the islands very carefully, and just in case it makes a little more of a jog to the west. The good news is we don't expect any rapid intensification with this because it's going to be following in a similar track that Hurricane Erin did. And when Erin went through, it really mixed up some of those ocean waters. We call that upwelling, when cooler waters are mixed up to the surface. And so since this tropical wave is going to be following in Erin's wake, it likely will be moving over cooler waters, which have less energy. And so we don't expect this one to really blow up into a Category 5 or anything like that, which is certainly good news. The wave behind it is a little bit lower. It's a little bit more south. That one, I think, has a good chance of development here over the next 48 hours or so. But then after that, by the time it starts to approach the islands down here, the environment becomes a little bit more hostile, a lot more dry air. And so that wave might actually fall apart before it makes it to the islands here. But we have a long way to go in the hurricane season. The statistical peak of the hurricane season is not until September 10th. So we still have a long way to go. We're going to have to track many more tropical